Hello, I'm Henry. I like history. And tonight, we're reading the story of a pepper that almost disappeared. Some foods vanish loudly. They're banned, they're blamed, they're rejected. Others fade away quietly, so quietly that no one notices until they're gone. This is one of those stories. In the 19th century, along the Chesapeake Bay, there was a small chili pepper known as the fish pepper. It wasn't especially hot. It wasn't rare. It was useful. Fish peppers were used in everyday cooking, especially in African American kitchens. They seasoned fish stews, shellfish, fried seafood. They added brightness without overpowering the dish. This wasn't a novelty pepper. It was a working pepper. For generations, the fish pepper traveled quietly through black food traditions. Seeds were saved, seeds were shared, but very little was written down. And when urbanization reshaped American life, as African Americans moved from rural farms to cities, gardens were left behind. At the same time, the Chesapeake Bay fish houses declined. The places where the pepper mattered slowly disappeared. By the early 20th century, the fish pepper was nearly gone. Not because it failed, but because its cultural home vanished. Then, the story narrows. Horace Pippin was born in 1888 and grew up in Westchester, Pennsylvania. During World War I, he fought in France, and there, he was shot. The bullet caused severe damage to his right arm and shoulder. The injury left him partially paralyzed and in constant pain. It was an injury he would live with for the rest of his life. When Pippin returned home in 1919, he carried the war with him, not only in memory, but in his body. Pippin was a painter, and because of his injury, he developed a new way to paint. He braced his injured right arm with his left hand, guiding the brush slowly, deliberately. Out of limitation came a style unlike any other. By the 1930s and 40s, Horace Pippin was nationally known. His paintings depicted war, African American life, and biblical scenes. They were direct, honest, uncompromising. His work was shown at the Museum of Modern Art and the Whitney Museum. It was collected by the Barnes Foundation and the Art Institute of Chicago. Critics like Alain Locke praised his genius. Pippin achieved recognition during his lifetime, a rare thing. But behind the fame, there was still pain. Pippin lived with chronic arthritis caused by his war injury. And like many people of his time, he turned to folk remedies. One of them was bee sting therapy. The belief was simple, that small doses of bee venom could ease inflammation and stiffness. It sounds unusual now, but to Pippin, it offered relief. Pippin had a neighbor, a Quaker beekeeper named H. Ralph Weaver. Their friendship was built on an unusual exchange. Pippin traded rare heirloom pepper seeds for access to Weaver's beehives. Seeds for bee stings. No money changed hands, just trust. Pippin continued growing fish peppers in his garden, and Weaver carefully and deliberately saved the seeds. He stored them in baby food jars, then placed them in his grandmother's freezer. And then, time passed. Horace Pippin died in 1946. The freezer remained. Decades later, Weaver's grandson, the food historian Dr. William Woys Weaver, was sorting through family belongings, and inside that freezer, he found the jars. Fish pepper seeds, preserved, forgotten, still alive. In the 1990s, William Woys Weaver reintroduced the fish pepper through the Seed Savers Exchange. Gardeners planted it again. Cooks tasted it again. A nearly extinct flavor returned. The fish pepper survived not because it was fashionable, or profitable, or protected. It survived because of a friendship between a painter and a beekeeper, between neighbors, between people who shared what they had. History isn't always saved by institutions. Sometimes it's saved through care, through memory, through friendship. Thanks for reading with me. I'm Henry, and I'll see you next time.